How much money do YouTubers make? While there are some creators who are very open about all the money they're making, most of them try to hide it just a little better. Well, in this video I'm going to tell you all the ways that YouTubers make their money, as well as how much money I've made on YouTube in 2019, and maybe give you some insight as to how much money the big YouTubers can make. So the first way we're going to be talking about, of course, is ad revenue, the main source of most YouTubers' income. Now the short explanation for this is just, if I watch an ad on your video, then you get money for it. But some ads are worth a lot more than others. For example, if somebody decides to upload a video one day and it gets 1 million views exactly, let's say, it's monetized and they have ads on it, the amount of revenue they will get for those 1 million views could be anywhere from about $200 to about $10,000. So what are some things that make ad revenue much higher for some people? Well, having longer videos, meaning you have more ads in the videos. That's the first step. That's why you see so many 10-minute plus videos, so that you can actually put mid-rolls in there. And then you're always clean, meaning you're not getting demonetized, you don't have any swearing or explicit content, because that'll definitely lower your rates. You have a mostly US audience, maybe some EU audience as well. And you can also make a very different amount depending on the time of year. Like right now around Christmas time and Black Friday, like this whole shopping season, YouTubers basically get like a ×2 or ×3 multiplier to their ad rates for a little while. Which is why you see so many creators pushing out the best content possible for most of December, but then in January when the ad rates drop completely, a lot of people take breaks or try other things, or, just there's a lot less pressure once January rolls around. Now the only way to know how much somebody makes off of ad revenue exactly is to get that information from them. Nobody else can really calculate exactly, because like I said, there's such a huge range. But I will show you exactly how much I've made this year. Alright, so here is my analytics for 2019. So I started the channel right around New Year's Day, but it didn't really start to pick up until late March, right around here, so I just skipped to right there. So as you can see, I was getting a few hundred to maybe 1,000 views a day, and then one day I just won the YouTube lottery, and I was getting around 10 to 20,000 views per day. Now it took a few days into this before I actually got accepted into the partner program. Basically you have to qualify and prove yourself by getting 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watch time, and then you have to sit in like a week-long, sometimes longer, approval process. So you can see right here's when my views started to go up, but it was still a few more days of this before I was able to start making any money. So we'll skip the first day since that wasn't a full complete day. But the first full monetized day, I got 16,000 views and made $50 from that. So back when I gave the example of getting 1 million views, making anywhere from $200 to $10,000, that's what's called a CPM. And it might be easier to explain if I just break it down to 1,000 views, because the CPM is how much money you get per 1,000 views. So like if you have a $5 CPM, then that means for every 1,000 views you'll get about $5. But that's just on average, because some people might only watch the first ad, some people watch all the ads in the videos, some people are from other countries where ads don't make as much money for you. So the CPM is just kind of an average of how much you made in the end. So like this day, 16,000 views, $50. So if you do the math on that, that's about a little over $3 per 1,000 views. So that's about a $3 CPM. But then you have days where, like let's look at this day, 56,000 views, $230. Okay, so that averages just over $4 CPM. Most YouTubers land in the $1 to $3 range. That's pretty average. If you make your videos longer and you put more ads and you get people to actually watch a lot of your video and you're family friendly, then you can enter maybe like the $4 to $6 range. But getting past the $6 mark, I'll explain that soon. So as you can see, running a channel can be very random. Some days you'll get a ton of views, some days you'll get hardly any. Like your income is just all over the place. Like I made $255 one day, and then $194 the next day, and then $91 the next day, and then $59 the next day. So it can be a bit sporadic. It's not a very stable income. And as you can see, I rode this trend for a while, and now I barely make like, I don't know, $20 a day on a good day. So over the course of this whole year, I made a pretty close to $15,000 before taxes. Almost half of that was made up during this big trend, because I was averaging about 50,000 views a day for a little while, making over $200 a day. So if I was able to keep that up for the entire year, then I would probably be closer to like the $70,000 or $80,000 mark. But that's the thing, just because you make it for a little bit on YouTube doesn't mean you're gonna stay on top forever. So the absolute best I had was right here. So I got 56,000 views, but I got $389. So that actually comes out to be about a $7 CPM, which is really good, at least for that time of year. If you come down to like November and December where you got Black Friday, like my views are way down, but still, 3,000 views got me $52. Jeez, that's like a $15 or $16 CPM right there. I mean, it's not a large amount of views, but yeah, right around that time of year is where the ad rates are just out of control, especially in like the current economy. Like things are going really well for YouTubers who can stay monetized. A lot of you are probably wondering how YouTube Premium works. The premium views count as another thing, and while they don't count towards your ad revenue, you'll have your estimated ad revenue and then your estimated YouTube Premium revenue. So the people who are paying the $10 a month for the YouTube Premium, a tiny portion of that goes to the creators of the videos they watch. So from what I hear, it's actually a lot higher of a rate if you're watching somebody's videos with premium than it is to watch their ads. Because if you watch somebody's ad, you're giving them like less than a penny. So, I mean, if you can give them like 1 or 2 pennies by watching it with premium, then it's technically like a lot more. So I mentioned that there was a certain range for people who make $6 to $10 CPMs. And that really comes down to what type of content somebody makes. Like if somebody's making videos about like tech reviews, you know, like reviewing iPhones or new laptops or just stuff like that, you know, Linus Tech Tips, or people who do like finance stuff like credit cards, real estate, you know, Graham Stephan kind of channels. Like those types of content make way more off of ad revenue. And the reason for that is like, let's say you make a review video for an iPhone 10. Well, Apple sees that you have a video reviewing the iPhone 10, so they're like, okay, well, we'll pay a lot of money to get ads of the iPhone 10 on that video. And since these tech companies are worth a lot of money, and they really want to bring more people in, they're very willing to pay more for the ads that get put on certain videos. Whereas if you're just a channel that makes comedy, meme videos, then you might only get like a $2 or $3 CPM at best. So basically, the more involved with products you are, then the more likely you are to make higher ad rates. So like I said, we can't ever know exactly how much these big channels make from their ad rates, but we can take an estimate. So here's PewDiePie's Social Blade. Shows he gets about 9 million views per day on average. I mean, his numbers are all over the place. Sometimes he gets less than 200 million views a month. Others he's getting 500 million or even 600 million views in a month. So let's guess that PewDiePie's ad rates are around $3. So for 600 million views at a $3 CPM, that's about $1.8 to $2 million for that 1 month, just off of ad revenue alone. And I mean, you can pretty much apply this to any of the big channels. And when you're on Social Blade, it gives you these estimated earnings right here. That's basically saying, it says right here, the default CPM range for Social Blade is 25 cents to $4. So like right here how it says he got 274 million views in the last 30 days. So he made somewhere between $68,000 if he had a 25 cent CPM, or $1.1 million if he has a $4 CPM. And since I would have to guess he's probably got a $3 or $4 CPM, I mean he mostly makes like meme videos, he's probably somewhere around the $800,000 to $1 million mark per month. However, there is one extra little secretive kind of thing that only really applies to the larger channels, is there's something called preferred ads. And these are like the top paying brands that only want to put their ads on the cleanest, family-friendly content. Usually only ends up on like the top 1% of channels, you know, the channels that have like millions of subscribers, you know, the late night talk shows, the Mr. Beasts, you know, the Dude Perfect kind of channels. And if a channel's lucky enough to get into the preferred status, that can give them about double ad rates again. So I'm not sure if PewDiePie is in it at the moment, but that could also help boost his income quite a bit. However, usually when big YouTubers have scandals like the Logan Paul Forest video or PewDiePie on the bridge, it can get you knocked out of the preferred ad tier and you can lose a lot of money. So basically that was the most expensive N-word pass in history. So now it's time to move on to the next type of YouTuber income. And that is merchandise. Now merchandise isn't really a thing for every kind of channel, but if you're a really big name and you have a lot of very loyal fans who want to show you some support, then selling merch can be a really good opportunity to make a lot of extra money. Now it's not really as easy as it might sound at first to make a good merch line. I mean, you've got to come up with design ideas. Usually you have to outsource some artists to actually design the merch for you. And then you've got to find a good supplier, make sure you got good profit margins, make sure you're not making very low quality crap. If you're looking for a guide on merch, I would definitely check out Nerd City's videos. He put a lot of work into those, and they can be very helpful. And like I said, some channels make even more on merch than they do on ad revenue. Income source number 3. So let's say you have a lot of loyal fans, but you don't really want to offer anything useful for them. Just start a Patreon. Now, I've learned firsthand that starting a Patreon is also not quite as easy as it seems, because when people sign up to give you money every month, you've gotta, give them a reason to stick around and keep giving you money every month. So you have to find something to offer them so they don't all just feel abandoned and leave. So maybe you can come up with some good reward tiers to incentivize people to send you money. And now income source number 4 on YouTube, brand deals and sponsorships. Now this is where income can really depend on your own personal preference, because once you become a pretty big channel, you're going to get emailed by a lot of different people, all wanting to pay you to push their product. And you're going to have to decide what brand deals are worth the money. Are you going to take a bunch of cash to promote something you really don't care about? Or are you only going to promote things that you are a big fan of? I mean, if you have a large following, but you advertise way too much and you just have a brand deal for a different sponsor every single video, like typically your fans will get a little bit fed up and they probably won't buy any of the things that you're advertising anyway, so I mean, it's definitely best to not take every single offer you get. But as far as these brand deals go, some companies will pay you per video that you put their ad in. Some of them will give you an actual script you're supposed to read and read it out for a certain amount of time taking up in the video. Some will just give you a link to put in your description, and then everyone who uses that link to purchase the products will give you a small commission for that. So I mean, every brand deal is kind of a different story. It's really just up to negotiating with the sponsor. So how much do these brand deals actually pay these YouTubers? Well, like I said, a lot of creators are pretty picky about what they choose to push onto their fans, so it can take a lot of money to convince them. And when you have a YouTuber who's already making a few $1,000,000 a year, how much does it actually take to convince them to spend a bunch of time talking about your product? And well, I don't really know how much people are making to push these VPN services or Squarespace or Skillshare, the ones you see all over YouTube. I have heard that the mobile game ones pay by far the most, which is kind of apparent because you can tell that a lot of these YouTubers definitely do not play these mobile games, but they are getting paid so much money to act like it's their favorite game. But I mean, if somebody offered you $50,000 just to make a 2-minute ad in the middle of your video, that you're already making like 3 videos a week, it's kind of hard to say no to like a full year's middle-class income. And then there's some like gaming YouTubers and streamers who get paid sometimes as much as $10,000 to $20,000 an hour, sometimes even more, just to play the game on stream, make a video, talk about what you think about it. So yeah, these sponsorships can pay YouTubers a lot of money, but it can also make the companies who pay the YouTubers a lot of money too. Like if you pay somebody 50 grand to talk about your product in a video, but you make 100 grand back, it's probably a good deal. And our 5th and final way that YouTubers make their income is actually pretty similar to brand deals. It's affiliate marketing. Now for those who don't know, affiliate marketing is basically when you get a link with your name on it that links to some other page to buy things. So like going back to the iPhone review example, like let's say you have a video reviewing the iPhone 10, and you work out a deal with Apple where if you have a link in your description that links to the iPhone 10 store page, it'll be like a specific link just for you, so that if people click on that link, go to the store page, buy an iPhone 10, then you will get a certain amount of commission for it. There's all sorts of different companies. Amazon affiliates is probably the most popular one, where people will put in their description like any gear they use for the video, or any products that are in the video, and just links to those, and if people use those links to go buy it, then the video creator will get a small portion of that. So if you add all of those things up, you can tell that these large YouTubers can make a lot of money. That is, assuming that they actually take advantage of all of these. I mean, most large YouTubers probably won't bother with a Patreon because they already make so much money elsewhere where they're just like, I don't need you to donate money to me, I'm doing just fine. Some channels make the majority of their income from merch, and some channels don't make merch at all. Some channels make a ton of money with ad revenue and then don't do anything else. Some channels have very few viewers, so they don't make much off of ad revenue, but they have affiliate marketing and a lot of brand deals because they have a very targeted niche audience. Well, if you look on like Business Insider or Forbes.com, they'll give you a rough estimate. They don't know exactly how much these YouTubers make either, but it's very safe to say that there are a lot of YouTube channels making in the 8 figures a year. But you also have to remember that most of the biggest channels, like, Mr. Beast and Dude Perfect, ones like that, they usually have a whole team of people, so they have a lot of employees that they have to pay too. It's not just all of the money going to one person. And even if it is just one person, they usually put a lot of money back into the channel. Buying more equipment or like buying more props to put in the videos, or just whatever. I mean, you guys watch YouTube, you know what YouTubers spend money on usually. They're not very good at hiding it. But anyway, if this video has inspired you to start making content for YouTube, go ahead and subscribe because my next video will be a guide on how to start a YouTube channel, a lot of tips to remember, how to grow well. I'm not one of those channels that likes to stretch everything out into like 20 different videos. I like to just pour all of my information into one video, so it's just going to be a whole guide to being a YouTuber next video. So I hope you guys learned something here, and thanks for watching.